Prime-time local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Well, the gang is finally back together. It feels like forever since it was Abby St. John, Josh Ryan, and our regular production staff up in the booth up there doing the show. So we're back to normal finally.
Yes, definitely. It was a long time, but we're finally back.
Yeah, it was an enjoyable couple of weeks. Still lots coming and going here in September. We have another hour, of course, of prime-time local news, sports, weather, and more. And we'll start all that with going to Eric Bay. He was out on location earlier. We got a little bit about Culture Days coming up.
Thanks, guys. Well, today we are down here at the Lloydminster Cultural and Science Center, and today we are talking about Culture Days. Now, that's going on all around the province here, and you can check that out on the 27th and the 28th. There'll be tons of stuff both on the Friday and the Saturday, so we're going to have a little bit more on what you can expect here. There will be some hands-on art projects as well. Their artifact storage will be open, so you'll be able to see all the different artifacts they have here in the process that they are going through to catalog them. So we're going to have all that and more coming up throughout the show, but before that, we're going to take a look at your local news.
Learning the importance of safety at railway crossings has been a high priority at CN Rail, and that continues this week as it is Rail Safety Week. Our Jasmine King has more on the steps the Border City is taking to improve the safety of railway crossings.
This year, CN Rail is celebrating their 100th anniversary, and they are running a Rail Safety Week. They want to raise awareness on railway safety with the numerous rail lines they have here and around Canada.
We're out promoting Look, Listen and Live. It's a campaign that was put together by Project Lifesaver, or Operation Lifesaver through the Canadian and railroads companies. And as a city, we felt it was very important to take safety very, very seriously. And this is an opportunity to help raise awareness about the railway in our city. We know we have active lines.
Over the past few years, CN has been hoping that with this campaign, they can reduce the number of incidents which happen at crossings each year.
We believe that every railway crossing incident or trespassing incident is preventable, and CN has a core value of looking forward to reducing the number of incidents to basically zero.
One of the new things introduced was a pedestrian safety warning around a few border crossings around Lloydminster.
Look, Listen, Live comes from, because if you are walking and you may not have noticed that the lights have been activated, you may not hear the bell as I indicated with earbuds or some other device. It just helps bring attention, because a visual is always the best way, but if you're looking down rather than straight ahead and noticing the signs or the lights coming on, this way you'll hopefully take that second just to look.
The city wants residents to be safe near the railway crossings around the community, and they hope this Railway Safety Week will help.
It's part of our community, and safety is paramount for the city as well as for the railways, and I appreciate CN Police coming out today to launch this program in our city. It is Railway Safety Week across Canada, so it's a great opportunity to bring attention to that.
Jasmine King, Primetime Local News.
City Council had a busy afternoon with several bylaws going through first reading and a lively discussion resulting in a delay on moving forward with the entrance signage project. With annexation discussions taking place with other counties and budgetary concerns, Council requested more information by October 7th.
Just wanted to be sure that we did it right the first time, as we've tried to do as council. So I think that was the message to administration. They were looking for some more information about potential locations of signs and information regarding that side of it.
The new reserves policy, however, did pass through the session, along with a relocation of current reserve funds and repealing of several outdated policies.
Some of that policy dates back into the early 90s, and it was a great opportunity to clean up the policy manual from the city, because at the same time, when we create new policy, we need to make sure that any old policy that is redundant is removed.
The total of $40 million in the city's current reserves align with the new direction of segregating and restricting them to specific purposes. The SPCA has an overflow of cats in their shelter. With this overflow of felines comes the problem that the SPCA can't take in more cats if the current ones aren't adopted. This isn't the first time there has been an overflow of cats, and why specifically cats, that's something the SPCA can't even answer.
I guess cats, they populate quickly, and it just seems to be they're easier to come by in some situations, right? So really any shelter rescue that you look at, it's cats. Cats are an issue at every place.
If you can't adopt, you don't have to worry as the SPCA takes donations.
Any type of donations, money, toys, food, treats, anything like that, that helps us a lot. We have a lot of blanket donations right now. That seems to be our number one thing that we get donated, which is fantastic. We're never complaining about that.
The SPCA will also have a Fall Feline Fest starting October 7th. Now we're going to Eric Bay, who is on location today.
Once again, we are back here at the Lloydminster Cultural and Science Center, and today we are taking a look at what will be going on here this weekend. And Sarah Hawkridge joins me now, and now you guys have Culture Days kicking off here on Friday, so can you tell us a little bit about what is going on there?
Friday evening, we have the Lloydminster fire trucks here, so folks can check out the fire trucks and maybe learn some fire safety. We'll be roasting marshmallows, and as well, I have some people coming in to do car seat inspections. I'm really passionate about safety, and we're on the road a lot more, especially with school starting, so you can get your car seat checked and come in and get free admission on Friday. And Saturday, we have free accessible activities for all ages in our galleries.
And now coming here on Saturday, you mentioned those activities. What are some of the activities people will be able to take part in?
In our community gallery, we have an exhibit entitled Paper Dolls by Pat Grayson, so we'll be actually making paper dolls in the exhibit. We have ceramics painting in our studio, as well as watercolor painting, and in our other studio we have mandalas and gratitude journals.
And now on Saturday, if people do want to get involved, get hands-on with that, when and what time can they do so?
The activity all starts at 10 o'clock and goes till 2. We are open 9 to 4:30, and it's free admission all day on Saturday as well as on Friday.
All right, thank you for this, and we're going to have some more from back here, continuing to talk Culture Days and all that there is to look forward to coming up here Friday and Saturday this weekend. But before we do get to that, we are going to head back into the studio.
Thanks, eBay. 13 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud right now. That's basically been most of the afternoon and evening here in Lloydminster, and that should continue for at least another hour before things start to cool down a little bit. And we will be dropping as we're starting to get closer to the seasonal average for this time of the year and below. As you'll see later on in the cast, 30 was your high back in 2011, and 2 was your all-time low back in 2007. West-northwest winds have been stronger than we expected. We were expecting around 25-26 kilometers per hour. It's actually averaged around 30 kilometers through most of the day. You can see several cloud covers making their way throughout the region. Some of the worst of it obviously making its way south of Edmonton and thus south of our region, so missing out on much of the chance of precipitation, but there could be some precipitation a little bit later in this week when another low pressure system makes its way through the prairies. 15 in Prince Albert, 14 in Melfort, and 15 also in Saskatoon. A little bit cooler when you get out to the mountains, 12 in Jasper, 14 in Whitecourt, but in central Alberta it's roughly the same, 15 in Edson, 17 in Red Deer, and 15 in Edmonton. Currently 12 again in Lloydminster, Cold Lake, Meadow Lake sitting at 11 degrees, North Battleford at 13, Saskatoon 14 again, Mirnam sitting at 13 degrees as well. And your 3-day forecast, again, an outside chance of some rain tomorrow with, again, a mix of sun and cloud. Those west-northwest winds should calm down a little bit, but we'll still get some strong gusts at least to the 20 to 25 kilometer range, a high of 13 and a low of 6. And then after that, it's a drastic cool down for the next couple of days. +9 on Thursday, the low of 5 still fairly normal with some cloud cover, then +5 and -1. That's right, folks. Winter is finally coming to the border city. Plenty of cloud cover there as well, at least overcast through most of the day. Lower chance of precipitation, but that could change over the next couple of days. And we'll have more weather coming up later on the show, but first, here's your brief messages.
Welcome back. Well, harvest operations have resumed in most parts of Alberta thanks to warmer and windy conditions. Alberta Agriculture and Forestry says in its latest crop report that progress has still been slow due to some shower activities, which delivered less than 1 millimeter of rain in the east and south and upwards of 30 millimeters in some areas in the Peace region in northeastern Alberta. Some light frosts have been reported for the Peace region. Provincially, about 18% of major crops have now been harvested, up 5% from the week before. And 5 Manitoba commodity groups continue to move forward with potential amalgamation. Directors from the Growers Association for corn, flax, sunflower, winter cereals, wheat, and barley have drafted bylaws of the potential new organization to be known as NewCo, as well as a draft of the amalgamation agreement. Members will vote in person at the annual general meetings as part of the Crop Connect conference on February 12th and 13th. Manitoba Wheat and Barley Growers Association Chair Fred Gregg says the agreement states that cash reserves of the 5 organizations will be invested into research and market development initiatives for the specific crop types it was collected on. And now we're going to take a look at your ag prices.
We're a part of less than 5% of Canadian auto body shops and Lloydminster's only locations with certified collision care recognition at City Centre Auto Body.
Last week, the Bobcats picked up a goaltender, Josh Diaz, from the Fort McMurray Oil Barons. Our Evan Kenny has more on the connection between the two teams in this week's Beyond the Boards.
Over the offseason, the Bobcats squad have added 4 players from the Fort McMurray Oil Barons. Chad McLean and Nolan Coventry on forward, Gunnar Kinnenberg on D, and recently acquired Josh Diaz in net. All of these trades have come since late July. Before these trades, the last time the 2 Northeast teams made a deal was September 11th of 2012, where the teams exchanged 2 players' rights.
It's not every day that you see within the division trades, but we knew the 3 were getting in, and with Josh as well too, having the the familiarity there between our guys that were up there and knowing him, we knew the character we're getting, and we also played against him last year.
For the 4 boys, the move has been easier with familiar faces.
Yeah, for sure. Chad and Nolan are huge. They're my buds in Fort Mac, and then also you have Diaz coming in, and he's also a good guy. Room with him last year, so it makes it easier for sure.
Before moving to Lloydminster, none of the boys had previously been traded.
It was interesting. I got the call from our coach in Fort McMurray, and then a call soon from Nigel. And he said there was a lot of new things coming up here in Lloydminster, so I was pretty excited and lots of opportunity for a young guy like me.
Yeah, first one, so it was a little different. Getting to come here and meet a lot of new guys. I was lucky enough to have Gunnar and Chad come with me. So
3 of the guys had training camp and preseason to get used to their environment. For Diaz, he was starting the next day.
I drove down to St. Albert. They picked me up. Went right to Grand Prairie, and I played the next day. Wasn't on the ice for a couple days, but I don't know. I think it helped me a bit more because I was more focused.
And just to get him right in there. You don't overthink it that way, and just go out and play, and that's what these kids want to do, and that's what he got the opportunity to do.
In Diaz's 2 starts with the Bobcats, he's rocking a .975 save percentage and a 1 goal against average. With only his tenure in Lloyd, he would sit 2nd in save percentage and 3rd in goals against average.
Over time, we know that they have a really high ceiling that they can get to.
The Bobcats will hit the ice in Camrose for the AJHL Showcase on Thursday versus the Olds Grizzlies. Evan Kenny, Primetime Local Sports.
Beyond the Boards is brought to you by City Centre Auto Body. For over 35 years, City Centre Auto Body has been your go-to auto body shop.
And now we're going to Eric Bay, who is on location today.
Once again, we are back here at the Lloydminster Cultural and Science Center, and today we have been taking a look at Culture Days, which does kick off here this Friday, and Sarah Hawkridge joins me once again. And now you did mention Paper Dolls will be happening here on Saturday, so can you give us maybe a little more background on what that is?
Certainly. This exhibit that we're standing in is created by Pat Grayson, who grew up in rural Saskatchewan on a farm. And growing up, you work on the farm, and you play on the farm, and you have limited toys. She had one girl toy toy, she had one doll, and so in her off times when she wasn't busy working with her family, she was playing with her doll, and a lot of her memories growing up on the farm are shown in her artworks. And so we are actually going to be making paper dolls as well, and bringing back some of our favorite memories and dressing up our dolls in our favorite colors and reflecting what our dolls mean to us.
And now the entire thing is open for a few hours on Saturday, but if people do want to get involved in this, is there a specific time that maybe they have to show up for? Is there anything in particular they need to do?
The event starts at 10 o'clock and it goes until 2. You can drop in any time between the hours of 10 to 2, and the event is entirely free. We are able to get funding from Saskatchewan Lotteries as well as SaskCulture, and that provides us with the funding to put on an event free for the entire community.
And now this paper dolls is just one of the many things that you did mention that are fairly hands-on here this Saturday. So what's maybe, the importance of getting people hands-on creating and, experiencing this culture?
I think it's important to show that there's no wrong way to make art, and art is a reflection of yourself, and it's important to showcase local art and culture.
All right, perfect. Thank you for this. And we're going to have some more from back here again as we continue to discuss Culture Days and everything there is to look forward to, as it's not just the hands-on. They will be also opening their artifacts room, so you can check all that out as well, which we'll be having here later on coming up throughout the show. But before we do get to that, we are going to head back into the studio.
Thanks again, guys. Next 24 hours, you can see here, we'll just have to flick this board back to make sure it works again. So at 12 degrees, we're going to drop down fairly quickly, unfortunately, into single digits. By about 10, 11 p.m. this evening, we'll be back down into single digits. Hit our low at about 4 or 5 in the morning, and we'll slowly make the climb back up, though we will get into the teens by noon tomorrow. A little bit of sunlight as well expected in the region, certainly less than a few other areas. Wind chill, unfortunately, still a factor. So with those 20 to 25 kilometer gusts coming out of the west-northwest, things will feel a little closer to maybe +8, +9 than they will to +13, even at the peak of the days. There's still, again, fairly heavy winds in effect there. And we've actually cooled down now to 12 degrees from 13 at the start of the hour. It's also 12 in Vermilion, 11 in St. Paul, and 14 in Vegreville. So expect that trend to continue over the next 2 hours. 12 as well in Lac La Biche. Edmonton still at 15 degrees. They're holding strong. North Battleford now down to 13 degrees, 14 in Macklin, 13 in Maidstone, 12 in St. Walburg, and 13 over in Meadow Lake. A few national temperatures quickly. Quebec City at 10 degrees. Toronto has had an enjoyable week. They're still at 20, though a little overcast now. Halifax, 17 degrees. That's also the case in Vancouver, where they are also overcast in that region. Winnipeg at 15, Regina at 16 degrees, and it's 11 up in Whitehorse, though they at least have enjoyed a little bit of sunlight throughout the day. North Battleford, again, 13 degrees, and it's very overcast now with wind coming out of the northwest. Again, a good clip of 30 kilometers, a low of 5 overnight, and then 14 degrees tomorrow, and they're expecting some scattered showers there. Wind should calm down in the west-northwest, but again, some of those gusts could clip up into the 25 to 30 kilometer range. Average speed should be just underneath 20. Cold Lake at 12 degrees, a low of 5, once again expected there, and then 12 with wind coming out of the west at about 15 kilometers per hour throughout the day. They will at least experience some sunlight, though there could be some rainfall as well. And we actually have some signs of some moisture and precipitation out near the airport, so on the northwest side of town. A low of 6 expected overnight, then 13 tomorrow, where we could see even more rain. Again, some of those gusts have been quite extreme. We're getting 42 to 43 kilometer gusts at the moment. I'm not expecting quite that tomorrow, but 20 kilometers is nothing to sneeze at the same time. 9 degrees on Thursday, a low of 5, and then Game of Thrones may have already had its long night, but winter is still coming for Lloydminster and area. +5, a low of -1 Friday evening. What a way to kick off your weekend. 4 and a -3 on Saturday, 4 and a -4 on Sunday, where we could get a little bit of snow. A 75% chance of snowfall coming for a centimeter or two there, and then +4 and -4 on Monday, and +6 to finish off the week on Tuesday.
Prime-time local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
And now we're going to Eric Bay, who is on location today.
Once again, we are back here at the Lloydminster Cultural and Science Center, where today we have been talking about Culture Days kicking off here this Friday and going on Saturday as well. And Sarah Hawkridge joins me once again, and now we are in your guys' artifact storage. So can you tell us a little bit about this? And people will be able to check this out here this weekend.
Absolutely. Saturday, we're hosting a doors open day of our artifact storage barn to allow folks an opportunity to see our artifacts close up and to see that how we are maintaining the items, how we're caring for them, and actually how we're cataloging them and digitizing the records.
And now behind us, these shelves, you guys have been putting in a lot of work to get these set up. So can you tell us maybe what's kind of in store in these and all the work that you guys did put in getting them ready?
My co-workers will be here on Saturday offering a close-up look at the artifacts that are on all of these shelves. They are categorized and they are labeled, and we're showing the proper way for storing and maintaining artifact pieces. So we'll give folks a close-up look at that.
And now also these pieces in here too, they have actually pretty cool history here in kind of the area. So can you tell us about that and kind of, where they kind of come from?
The bar colonists were a large group of people that came to the Lloydminster area back even before Alberta and Saskatchewan were formed in 1903. And so it is our job to preserve the history and keep those artifacts that were donated to the museum so many years ago.
And now Culture Days, you guys have been doing this for a few different years. So can you maybe talk about past events and maybe either how it's grown or kind of what it's like to be able to show all this stuff off here for a weekend?
I think it's important to be able to show off these artifacts because they have been locked away in storage. It's important, I think, for the community to see that we are putting a lot of work and effort into making sure that these items are kept safe, and it's important to celebrate culture and art in our community.
And then just really quick, how can people come out and check this stuff out again this weekend?
Saturday Culture Days is 10 to 2, and we'll have signage for how to work your way out to the barn so that you can see these artifacts, as well as our rental house, which will be open.
Thank you for this, and we are going to have some more from back here at the LCSC, but before that, we are going to head back into the studio.
Question of the day, timed well coming after the first day officially of fall. What signifies fall for you? I guess it's a little bit different for everybody, but we did get from a lot of people on Facebook was the obvious sort of image of fall, which is leaves falling and the color of leaves changing. And that really is, when you think about fall, sort of visually anyway, the first thing you think of is sort of the general color change that you see in nature.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely my favorite part is when the leaves change because it just looks so pretty. But that definitely, you can definitely know that, yep, fall's coming, it's almost here, and then it's here. Once you start seeing those leaves turn from green to an orange or yellow.
Yeah, and certainly people love to definitely do their photography around that time. Even though weddings are in the summer, they love taking their main pictures in the fall where it's a little prettier. Really quick though, let's head into Pet of the Day, and we'll start off with Harley, who's not happy about something.
But super adorable nonetheless.
Next up here, Oscar.
Gorgeous cat, big green eyes, very cute.
Hollyberry, we're on a cat roll here.
Yes, love the name, gorgeous blue eyes, super cute.
Destiny, we had to switch it up, get a dog in there.
Super adorable with the little flower in her mouth, just enjoying the outdoors.
And we'll end it with a couple of dogs to even up the score.
Just adorable. I love how they're so close together, super cute.
Remember, need the name, need the pick if you want to get in on like Parker and Daisy.
We want to see your pets. Send photos of your pet and their name to our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram to have them featured on Pet of the Day. Your name will be entered into a weekly draw for a gift certificate from the Pet Pad.
I'm joined here with Becca from the SPCA, and she's brought in Gidget, this beautiful dog who is very shy and quite timid. But still just the gentlest girl that you can meet. So tell me a little bit about how she ended up in the SPCA.
Yeah, so she just came in as a stray, and yeah, like she is a little bit sometimes outgoing when she is comfortable. You know, she's quite happy to be around everybody. The tile floor was a little bit new for her today, so that was a bit of a stress for her, and going downstairs seemed to be a little bit more stressful than going up them. So yeah, she needs a little bit of work in that aspect. Oh yeah, in that aspect. But I mean, other than that, she's about 11 months old, we think, you know, under that year marker. And yeah, she's spayed and vaccinated and ready to go now.
For 11 months, she is very, very well behaved.
Yes, yeah.
She knows give the paw, and she just wants pets. Very adorable, but she does have that shyer nature. So how well has she been around other dogs or even other animals like cats?
She's been really good. She's, you know, for as young as she is, she's really laid back around in that aspect too, right? Like I think just walking her past the cats, she kind of gave them a little sniff today, and then the other dogs, she kind of just lets them do their barking, and she goes and lays on her bed. So she's really, and she was adopted once, and from what we heard, she was just a little bit more energy than what they were expecting. So she does get a little bit more rambunctious, I guess, in the home, but just really too in the sense that she just wants to go for a walk.
Yeah.
She just wants to go. Like she's not, you know, she needs a little bit more house training. We figured out as well too. So we think that she might have just been outside somewhere before, and she's just not used to the home environment.
And have you gotten a chance to see how she's around children?
Yeah, like just from when kids going in the back, we haven't heard anything that she barks or growls, anything like that. So again, with her being a little bit more shy, you know, just going slow and making sure the introductions are done properly, just so they don't kind of come at her and scare her initially. But I think, you know, if they're, you know, like that they're doing those introductions right, I think she'll be really good.
And SPCA wise, how or any upcoming events or anything like that?
Yeah, so we have our Fall Feline Frenzy, so we finally set some dates for that. So that's going to be, I believe, from the 7th to the 12th, so not next week, but the week after. So from the Monday to the Saturday, we're going to do that. And then we're going to put it as the adult cats are $25, and then the kittens are going to be $50 again. So just because we have quite a lot of each, so we're going to get them all adopted again.
which is everything that you want, just because I believe your numbers have gone up in cat wise as they normally. You probably have seen that a lot.
Yeah.
Any reduce in numbers so far over the past couple weeks?
Our dogs, really, like we have, I think, 3 dogs in care right now in total, so that's really nice. And you know, hopefully, like I think the one that we have has a few specials on him already. So once he gets neutered, he'll be ready to go, and hopefully he'll go quite quickly. And then we have a couple. We have a couple puppies at Lakeland College right now getting their neuters. So if the students don't adopt them, you know, they'll be coming back as well. Or one does have a special, but if the other one doesn't get adopted, he'll be coming back, and they're about 5 months old. And we think they're Pyrenees lab cross kind of thing. So if you're looking for a big farm dog, they'll probably be a good match. But other than that, I mean, our numbers are really good for dogs right now.
Yeah. And cat-wise, still up
in
numbers.
High, yes, we made that post last week that we have, and that included few fosters, which is nice. We have left in foster, but in total about 70 kittens in our care still.
And just really quickly before we wrap up, just to reiterate the days and the times for your fall frenzy.
Yeah, so the 7th to the 12th, and Saturday we close at 5, so it'll be from 12 to 5, and then but the following week it'll be from 12 to 5:30.
All right, well, perfect. Thank you for bringing in Gidget and coming in.
Yes, thank you.
Pet Project is brought to you by Quick Pick Waste Disposal, Lloydminster's #1 waste and recycling hauler. Quick Pick is waste collection you can depend on.
I'm Justin with Boom 1019 and 93.7 Wayne FM, and here's what's happening. The water treatment plant in Wainwright will be shut down for the next few days. They do encourage you to conserve as much water as possible while they work on things. Full details can be found at the Town of Wainwright's website. Moving on, September 28th is the Scarecrow Festival in Wainwright. Build the Scarecrow and win a cash prize. First, second, and third get to claim those. It is happening over at the Wainwright Public Library from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Once again, that is happening this Saturday. There will be a ton of cool things like crafts, kids games, a show and shine, a barbecue, and so much more. More details can be found at the Wainwright Library's website. And moving on, big concert this week. Elton John brings his farewell Yellow Brick Road tour to Rogers Place, September 27th and 28th. Some tickets are still available for the 28th. Totally depends on your price point and where you are willing to sit. But he did say this is his final world tour. Is it going to be it? I don't know. I wouldn't gamble on it if I was you. Once again, that is happening this week, the 27th and 28th. And the 2019 Father-Daughter Gala moved to the Vermilion Regional Center this year. It is happening Thursday, November 28th. There's going to be a 5:30 registration, a 6 o'clock dinner, and then of course a dance to follow. The early bird drop for that is November 1st, and it is sponsored by Norrisford and Websford. Once again, that's the 2019 Father-Daughter Gala, and it is happening Thursday, November 28th. Full details for all of these events can be found over on our Facebook pages and our websites, 1019 Boom and 93.7 Wayne FM. I'm Justin with Boom 1019 and 93.7 Wayne FM, and that's what's happening.